Hello and welcome to Golden Wings Angel Card Readings. We are still working our way through the love and romance readings for August and September. And this reading here is for an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising who is single and not in a coupled relationship. And just as a special note, I do all of my praying and calling in my spirit guides and asking for counsel off camera as well as my shuffling, so that when I get on camera, I can get straight to the interpretation of your reading for you, Aquarius. And I'm pulling 3 cards from the Archangel Power Tarot by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. And then I have 3 more cards that I pull on a bottom row from the Angel Tarot, but also by Doreen Virtue and Radleigh Valentine. And then I pull a card from the Romance Angel deck, Romance Angel Oracle deck. And then I'm pulling 3 what I'm calling action energy cards, 1 from Angel Answers, 1 from Magical Mermaid and Dolphins, and 1 from Magical Messages from the Fairies. And I'll kind of get into those and how those work in the reading a little bit later. So again, this is Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. This is for the months of August and September 2017, and this is your love and romance reading. Okay, so before we look at the individual cards, Aquarius, I'd like to say that I got the feeling right away on shuffling the deck and when I asked my guides and when I pulled these cards and started to turn them over, that there is something that's either just happened in your recent past or not something in your childhood necessarily, but something in your recent past or just a little bit beyond that past that happened with regards to love and relationships that was more of a traumatic experience for you or more of a trying time, and that you're still kind of fighting your way through that, and you're still trying to get yourself to another point as far as love and romance is going. I will say that on 2, 4, 6, 7 cards, 8, 9 cards, besides the 3 that I pull for action energy, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 9 cards are major arcana cards. So what that tells me also, Aquarius, single Aquariuses, is that August and September are some very big months for you for really doing some clearing out. If this has been a challenge for you, if love and romance has been a challenge for you, and this is something that hasn't gone exactly how you wanted it to go, then you have an opportunity coming up here with all of the energies that are being presented to really sort through some things and be able to begin again, or find a new starting point, or find a revival of love and romance energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with just showing you the cards. We have the Moon on the top row left, and then the Sun. So we have the Sun and the Moon. So you're getting both of those energies, which are not conflicting energies, but they are completely opposite energies, and you're going to have both of those coming in. For the Emperor on the right top row. On the bottom row we have Awakening, Ego, our little minor arcana or suit card down here is the 3 of Air. And then as the basis for our readings, underlying energy underneath both decks, we have the King of Water. King of Water. And one more major arcana card, because the number we have just isn't enough. Peace. Okay, and those are like, the basis of your reading. All right. So let's see if we can get into this and help you get somewhere you haven't been yet for this energy and the advice that was given. So first we're going to start with the moon. And unlike the polar opposite that you've also got in your reading coming up right after the moon, and this is kind of cool because if you do your work right in the moon, it means you're going to move into this light in the sun. The moon is where there is something that you're either not admitting to yourself or that someone else is not admitting to you, something that you can't see about a given situation. And since this is love and romance, then we're going to assume that it's with regards to either a person or just your love and romantic life in general. And usually the moon casts a shadow, right? When you've got the moon, you've got a shadow. And it's not that the shadow is negative, it's that it's up to you to go inside yourself and intuitively feel where that moon is trying to lead you. Okay, what answers does this moon have that you need to know for your highest good and highest purpose with regards to love and romance, Aquarius? And, there are many ways to do that. You can, the text on the card, the opportunity to improve your plans, listen to your intuition, face your fears and grow stronger. So usually this is fear-based energy, and it's just things that you don't necessarily, we all have things that we don't want to admit about ourselves, right? Or that we don't want to look at and we don't want to see, and that's moon energy. The thing that your guides and your guardian angels are saying to you is that it's time to start taking a look at this stuff. It's time to start going inside and delving deeper, because even though you don't want to face it, you're continuing not to face it, or a choice not to go inside yourself and really see what this is trying to say to you is keeping you stuck, and it's not working for your highest good for love and romance for you. Okay? And this card is coupled with awakening. Now, awakening is the Hanged Man in traditional tarot, and it means you need to flip the way that you're looking at a situation, okay? And it means that for the months of August and September, you will have a unique ability to flip the way that you're looking at a situation. So if you've been looking at something and it's been seeming very black and white to you, Aquarius, this will be the time where you have kind of a special energy coming towards you and a unique gift to turn it on its ear, look at it from a bunch of different directions, which will give you an aha moment to what has been lying underneath this moon, uncovered, that you need uncovered in order to move forward in your romantic life. Don't forget that you can use meditation. You can use, you can get out in nature and take a walk. You can, I've said this on a few of my other readings, you can take a piece of paper, ground and center yourself, deep breathing, kind of getting in tune with yourself. Make sure that anytime you do any kind of intuitive work that you ground yourself, and a lot of times that's as simple as seeing a cord extending down from your base bone down here, and it can have a plug on the end of it, and just plug it into Mother Earth so that it grounds you down, or you can see a tree with roots going down into the earth, and that way you're free to do intuitive work where you're still grounded to the earth energy. And basically take out a sheet of paper and close your eyes, do some deep breathing, and then ask yourself, what is it in the realm of love and romance that is hidden from me that I need to see? And then write down on that piece of paper the first thing that comes to mind. Don't take any time, nothing, just write it down. And usually you can get a decent answer that way. If you like meditation and are good at meditation, then just do a full-on meditation and see if you get anything. Pay special attention to any dreams that you get at this time. Sometimes you can ask before you go to bed at night, hey, angels, guides, God, Earth Mother, Spirit, whatever resonates with you, you can say, hey, can you please provide me with some symbols or some signs or some answers as to what needs to be uncovered? So the good news is it looks like you're going to be successful at that, because right after that you're going to move into this energy of the sun, which is the total opposite of the moon, and obviously very high vibe, very positive energy, which is nice because it seems like you can use some of that, Aquarius. It seems like whatever's gone on for you in the past here has you feeling down and maybe a little hopeless about your situation. And when you feel like that, it's hard to pull yourself up and recognize any of the positive things that are going around. And so you need to remember that feelings are just that. If you're feeling hopeless and you're feeling weary is the word that comes to mind, is the word that Spirit gives me. You're feeling weary about just the whole thing about love and romance. You're just tired. You're tired of the whole. It doesn't hold the joy that it should. But here's the good news. Here's some joy energy coming to you for this. And it's needed energy. I feel like this, you need to hang on to this card, right? Take a good look at it and visualize it, right? There's sunflowers, angel on horseback with the sun shining through the wings, okay? Anytime that you're not feeling that type of energy, call that energy to you. Below that, we have the 15, which is the ego card. This is another fear-based card. It's another fear-based energy card of you hanging on to something or having an attachment to something because of fears that you're not willing to let go of. The text reads, a false sense of entrapment. Being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. Now, what I got from this when I turned over all these cards, when it says a false sense of entrapment, is that you feel like you are stuck in whatever situation you've created. Either it's a bad romantic situation that you're just now even trying to sort through, or it's the fact that you had a bad experience or multiple bad experiences, and this is making you feel like this is the card that says, I can't break free from this. I'll never break out of this pattern. I'll never break out of this cycle. And this is a big pattern card. It's a big pattern energy card, which is saying to you that if your pattern has been to sabotage things as they get started because you have no faith and confidence in yourself, that this pattern is going to come up again. But I want you, Aquarius, when this pattern starts rearing its head and you think, oh my God, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I don't deserve love. All of those things that you tell yourself that keep you chained to this negative low-vibe thinking. I want you to put this card straight on top of that card and just wipe it out with the sun. I want the sun rays to wipe it out. I want you to think of this card, which is telling you that if you can, whatever thought process you've had going on that got you into this ego-based, fear-based negative thinking, flip it and start looking at it from different angles. What if yourself? What if? As silly as it is, go ahead and let yourself dream some different scenarios, okay? But I want this sun card to drown out this card here, okay? Then we have the Emperor card, which is saying that there's a need for leadership. There's a need for you to take action. There's a need for you to make decisions, be decisive, get organized, make a plan, and own your power. Okay, this is a very power-oriented card. And the good news is if you've been feeling hopeless and helpless, which we know that's going on, then this card comes in to show you that you are not powerless. And this card will give you a burst of power energy. So you really want to use that. You want to use it to get organized, make a plan, figure out what you want, and take some action instead of just hanging out in this low vibe, I can't do it, I'm not good enough, repeating pattern space. Now, in order to get out of all this stuff, though, you're going to have to confront this card here. And this card is the 3 of Air, and it's a card of sadness. Threes are expansion and air is thought, which means your thoughts blowing out with this particular vibe. And this energy vibe is sadness. It's a card of sadness, of regret, of things not working out how you wanted them to work out, which is why I say that either you've just broken up with somebody, right? And remember, these are general readings. So I might be picking up on something that's true for some of you and not true for others. So you may be doing just fine and maybe out there and doing just fine, and I'm here saying, oh, I feel this. That's what I'm getting. So somebody out there is having this happen. If that doesn't resonate with you, take the things that do resonate for you, like the fact that you've got this sun energy, like the fact that all of us can benefit from going inside ourselves at different times and really asking ourselves what we want from love and romance. That's everyone, whether you've just broken up with someone, whether you're doing fine on the dating scene or anything. And then all of us have to face these ego fears where we think we're not good enough, right? And everybody can also benefit from the message of taking some more leadership role and organizing and figuring out what you want. But for those of you who are in this vibe where you have either just gotten out of something with really just kicked the wind out of your sails, that's what this card is, just kicked you, and you're just feeling sad. That just takes time. That's all it takes, Aquarius. It takes time, and it takes introspection, and it takes being able to look at the patterns that you have set up and learning how to overcome them. Okay? So that next time, that's not the outcome. All right? It's not the pattern anymore. It's time to break the pattern. And I think you can do that, and I feel that energy in this reading, that this next couple of months, even if it's not, I wish, for everybody that I could turn these cards over and we would just have cards like this all the way through, and I could say, the greatest love of your life is on the way, Aquarius, and you're going to get everything that you want. And you have to understand this is a 2-month reading. So for some of you, the greatest love of your life is on your way. You will get everything you want. But for these particular card layouts, and for anybody who's identifying with this feeling that I've picked up on, know that, all of this stuff, with the readings, the asking your angel guides, the having your spiritual team behind you, the connecting with something larger, is all to enable you to get to the core of you so that you can attract and meet another person. Because it's a cliche, and I know it gets old to hear it, but it's the truth. If you are not 100% in you, and you're not in love with you, and you don't have the type of energy for attraction, it won't matter what's going on. Okay? If you don't have this vibing without this being right underneath it, okay? And you don't have this positive, strong, powerful nature coming, and instead you have a nature that is insecure, that is needy, that is graspy, that feels desperate, that feels desolate, you're not going to attract what you want anyway. And you may very well keep attracting a partner over and over and over again who doesn't do what you need, who doesn't fulfill you. Okay, so, and I say that also, we've got the King of Water at the bottom of one deck for the basis of the reading. So this can be you, this can be this person that I'm picking up on that came into your life, although this is usually a very trustworthy person, and this is usually talking about trustworthy advice. So if you have somebody in your realm that you need to open up and talk to about all of this stuff, don't be afraid to do that. But also know that advice is just advice, and you can ask as many people as you want to for advice, but you need to really take your own counsel too. Okay? And this may be you, right? Because it can either be you or somebody else. It says trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. So open your heart and mind to those around you, right? And our final major arcana card, because there wasn't enough heavy energy going on for you guys here, is 13 and Peace. Okay, and this is a card of a necessary ending. Okay, and it's the text on it is release the past. There is a more enriching future. Let go and let God. And obviously, that's why I'm saying with this and with this, and we got this Moon card here, and this Ego card. You are going through something, Aquarius, that is, earth-shattering is too dramatic of a word, but you're going through something very meaningful, okay? And it's meaningful in the sense that although it's not the funnest setup, okay, this is not like sunshine and lollipops, although we do have sunshine, okay? This is a setup for growth, for unbelievable, remarkable growth, okay? So, and as hollow as that may sound, you know, you're thinking about, wow, I want love and romance. I want to hear there's a romance coming out. I don't want to hear growth. But the thing is, it's 2 months, August and September. If you take this time to grow through these energies and get past them, what you're going to have waiting for you on the other side is going to be so much more valuable than any setup that you've had so far. And remember that so far, the key terms for this and the key ways to help yourself through this is to flip everything on its ear and look at it from a different perspective. To remember that at some point you're going to have some vibrant sunlight energy, which you desperately need to work through all of these things. And that you need to take a more leadership role and get organized about what you want. Okay? When I pulled the card for the romance angels, I got the retreat card. Now, if you're in a coupled relationship, this means retreat together, which is why you're seeing the picture doesn't totally match the word. But this means it's time to disconnect from the world, right? And this is kind of what we've been talking about this whole time. It's time for you, Aquarius, to connect with those parts of you that you've disassociated yourself from. You know, this is a card of, let me get the right one, aspects of yourself that you're not addressing, not looking at, that you've disassociated with. So we need to reconnect with this moon energy. We need to take the time to experience whatever loss it is that you've had and move through it so you can put it in your past, okay? And you need to really be looking at where your patterns of self-destructive behavior are coming in, because it's brought you sadness, and we need to get you out of that, right? I mean, this is not where we want to stay. We want to stay in the light and own our power. And these two things, please don't forget, these two things are front and center in your relationship, love and relationship reading. So don't forget, like I said, it's a general reading, and if you're not feeling too many of these heavy things, then this may be what you're pulling in. So, as with all the readings that I do now, I've been doing 3 angel action cards or angel guidance cards, and basically those cards are specific messages from your fairies, mermaids and dolphins and angels as to when you get in these low vibe spaces, you know, and you've got a few, okay, there's a few. It's what specific advice can they give you to transform that energy and get you to somewhere else, okay? I didn't just want to do the 6-card reading and then, you know, yeah, you can be more like the emperor and you can have more power, okay? I wanted 3 specific single word or action energy cards that you could take if you were feeling down during these next few months, August and September, to help you get through it and also to help you transform it, right? And so we have, from your angels, meditation brings awareness, right? And don't forget, we said earlier, I gave you a couple of ways to do that with this moon card. So obviously this is a huge key here. So, you know, if you're not a great meditator, there's nothing wrong with that either. But do try as much as you can to start asking these questions and use that piece of paper technique. If you're not a great meditator with the deep breathing and the silence for so long and stuff like that, the paper technique actually does really help. I've utilized it myself and it's made a difference. And then your magical mermaids and dolphins are saying, watch your thoughts. It's important to only think about what you desire, not what you fear, right? And so they're saying, going back to our reading, that you really need to focus less on this fear-based energy here and get that sun, it's trying to hide from me, get that sun front and center, right? Positive expectations, positive outcomes. You need to be very careful about what you're thinking about in order to make sure that what you're thinking about is taking you in the direction you want to go during these next couple months. And then this says, ask for what you want. And it's just a beautiful card. It says, let the universe and other people know what you need. Look at that. You've got your little fairy blowing on one of those pinwheel type of make-a-wish things. Okay? And don't forget, you can come back to this at any time and take a look at these 3 cards to pull you out of whatever it is that is going to be going on for you if it gets too heavy, Aquarius. You are an innovative sign. You have everything it takes to get yourself in a different thought space. If something's happened that's just kicked the wind out of you, know that it's going to be okay. And I know that's hard to say that, because how do I know? I know, I felt it. I felt it on this reading. There are cards that we got that have said, you're going to come through it to the other side, but you've got some stuff to go through. And so here's what I'd kind of like to say to you. If you've never done this before, there is a very good exercise for when you have dealt with love and romance in the past and it's not been what you want, and you're looking to find something new. I want to say that I came across this maybe 10 or more years ago, and I believe it was by a famous author, and her name is Cheryl Richardson. So that's who I believe I got this exercise from, or Cheryl Richards. It's either Richards or Richardson. Anyway, the gist of it is, when you're on your own and you're by yourself, and you've just been sort of kicked down by love and romance, and you're feeling like you're never going to find love again, sit down with yourself and start to imagine your perfect mate. Okay? And when I say this, take out your journal again and start to write down everything. Start with physical. Start with physical appearance. What would you like to see in your mate physically appear before you if you had everything on your wish list? Then you're going to do emotional traits. Okay? What emotionally do you need from a mate? Then you're going to do physical, as in sensual things. What do you need on the sensual plane for yourself? And so you're gonna put all these things together as far as what you want. And I found it very helpful, because when you've had a letdown in romance, a lot of times what you have learned is what you don't want. And then it's very easy to put your thoughts on what you don't want, which of course then goes against the law of attraction. So take out a piece of paper, and instead of sitting around focusing on the things you don't want, now that you are wiser, okay, spend your time spinning out to the universe what it is exactly you do want in a mate, because the universe will get you closer and closer and closer, or maybe even right on the dot. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me on this reading. I'll be back in October for October, November, and December. We'll see what that holds for you then, Aquarius. And other than that, love and light always. Many blessings to you, and I'll see you next time.